In the first part of the lesson, Introduction to Microbiology, we learned about applied microbiology, industrial microbiology, various production processes like vinegar, cheese, yogurt, etc. The process of fermentation. But in this part, we will be learning about clean technology and biofuels. The subtopics that we will be discussing are sewage management, bioinsecticides, biofuels, clean technology basically, landfilling, and microbial inoculants. Let's see how microbes, which are tiny microscopic creatures, help in the production of fuels. Hydrogen, called the fuel of the future, is released during biophotolysis of water, wherein bacteria perform photoreduction. Ethanol and alcohol, a clean fuel obtained during fermentation of molasses by the yeast Saccharomyces. Molecular formula C2H5OH. The third one, methane, a gaseous fuel obtained by anaerobic decomposition of urban, agricultural and industrial waste. Formula of methane CH4, and methane is got by decomposition of city, urban, agricultural, industrial waste in an anaerobic manner. That means without oxygen. Now let us see what these big words like biophotolysis mean. It is a chemical process by which water molecules, that is H2O, are broken down into smaller units through the absorption of light. Bio and photolysis, photo meaning light. The next big word, photoreduction. Now all of you know what is a reduction reaction. Now any reduction reaction that takes place in the presence of light again is called photoreduction. Biofuels are important as renewable or good sources of energy. Okay. Similar to fuels, chemicals are also produced by the microbial process. Like for example, alcohols, acetone, organic acid, fatty acids, polysaccharides, which are used as raw materials in industry. So when fuels are being processed or being made or produced from biomass, that is trees, plants, etc., chemicals are also produced, and these are the type of chemicals which are produced and used in as raw materials in industry. Biofuels are renewable sources of good energy available in solid form like coal, cow dung, crop residue, etc. Available in liquid form like vegetable oils and alcohol, and also available in gaseous form, that is gobar gas, coal gas, etc. Biofuels are easily available in abundance, that is enough of amount for all human beings to use, and they are the reliable fuels of the future. The use of microbes in pollution control. Okay. Now, solid wastes, sewage, that is liquid waste from the bathrooms, toilets, kitchens, and other pollutants are increasing because population is increasing. Now, due to this increase in pollutants, there is increase in diseases and a degradation or spoiling of the environment. Too much of waste all over the place. Cities, especially in very densely populated areas, they face huge problems of waste disposal, sewage disposal. And future generations will struggle if these problems are not taken care of right now. So what is being done is, these little creatures called microbes or microorganisms, they are being used for the disposal of solid waste through biogas plants and compost production. This will be the state garbage everywhere, and therefore something needs to be done right now. Landfilling. This is the figure of a modern landfill site. So what is done is large pits are dug in open spaces far away from where people live, and all the degradable waste is collected here. The food waste, the waste which can be degraded by microorganisms. Then these large pits are lined with thick plastic sheets to prevent the leaching or the going into the soil of toxic or harmful materials which are there in the garbage. Then compressed waste. The waste is pressed. It is just pressed down by some heavy machinery and is dumped into the pit and covered with soil, sawdust, that is the powdered form of wood, leafy waste, and biochemicals. Okay, biochemicals means microorganisms. Okay, bioreactors are also mixed at some places. Now what happens is the microbes, they slowly start decomposing the waste or the garbage which is dumped there, the compressed garbage. Now when the pit is completely filled with garbage, it is filled with soil slurry. Soil slurry could be water with a whole lot of sand mixed with it, with some manure and some other stuff to make it little thick consistency, and then poured on all these things which are there in the landfill site. After a few days, the best quality compost is formed with the help of the microorganisms. Now, these landfill sites, they can be reused after this very good compost or manure is formed and which is removed. Okay. Now, what is a bioreactor? Is a system used for bioprocessing that supports the growth of cells or tissues, and this process can be aerobic or anaerobic. So if you want the garbage or the waste to decompose quickly, then sometimes a bioreactor is used. Of sewage. First of all, sewage is the water that is not fit for drinking, got from the bathrooms, toilets, and the kitchen. In cities, microbes which can decompose any compound as well as destroy the pathogens of cholera, typhoid, etc. are mixed with sewage. Okay, so we have a bonus over here. Okay, microbes, they can decompose any compound. At the same time, they can destroy the germs of cholera, typhoid, etc. And these are mixed with the sewage here. In the primary filtration and primary setting, they are mixed with the sewage. They release methane, which is a clean fuel, and carbon dioxide by decomposition of carbon compounds in sewage. Phenol oxidizing bacteria, one type of bacteria, decompose all the not wanted chemicals in or xenobiotic chemicals in sewage. The sludge, if you see here, there is a a dense, thicker part of the sewage which settles down at the entire process. After the process is over, there's a sludge settling here. You see biogas being formed. Okay, so this sludge can be used as a fertilizer. You know that biogas is a clean gas. Water released by this treatment is environmentally safe. It can be used for farming, it can be used in industries, etc. Microbes are used for bioremediation of environment polluted due to sewage. Now in this picture there is a very schematic of how the sewage treatment takes place. It is primary, secondary and tertiary treatment. In the primary setting there is only filtration. Okay, then there is a tank over here. Okay, here you can see a biofilm, that is the microbes being put here, air going in. Okay, the digestion or the decomposition of the sewage, and then further you get your water here which can be used, biogas which is also useful, and sludge which is also useful as a fertilizer. Clean technology. Now, human being has made very fast progress in technology. New things come out daily. At the same time, pollution, that is environmental pollution, is also increasing with a very quick speed. So there has to be some control over air, soil and water pollution. And this can be done with the help of microbes, because microbes have a natural ability to decompose man-made chemicals. Hydrocarbons, those are compounds of hydrogen and carbon. So hydrocarbons and other chemicals are changed into something else by the microbes. One example is that microbes remove the sulfur from any fuel, and metals like copper, iron, uranium, zinc, they leach or they get into the environment from low quality metalloids. Now, what do thiobacilli and sulfobacilli do? That before these compounds can leach into the soil and reach the water bodies and pollute the water bodies, they convert them into compounds. And now they cannot leach into the soil. So the soil and water thereby is the pollution into these things is reduced. First of all, we need to segregate or to put different types of garbage in different bins. Okay. Now, non-biodegradable materials like plastic and metals in garbage do not undergo decomposition by microbes. Microbes can decompose organic matter that comes from plants and animals. And metals and plastics are not biodegradable by microbes. Okay. These should not be there in garbage. They should be segregated, separated. Bottles, metals separately and degradable waste separately. Toxic matter, hazardous chemicals and e-waste should be removed, as they will kill microbes and decomposition will suffer. So what happens when we just put the entire garbage together? Okay, there are microorganisms, but they will probably be killed because of dangerous toxic things that come out from e-waste, hazardous chemicals from biochemical waste, from the biomedical waste. Some dangerous substances will kill the microbes, and when microbes are killed, we won't get the decomposition of the other waste. So this toxic matter, hazardous chemicals and e-waste should be separated. So in some places they have these kind of bins where you have to recycle paper, then glass and plastic bottles separately, cans, metal cans of Coke and other things to be put separately and then taken for recycling. Now, sewage generated in homes is carried by drainage pipes to a municipal sewage treatment plant. So what happens in the water in the kitchen, bathroom and toilet, which is called sewage, is made in the house or generated in the homes and carried by large drainage pipes to the municipal sewage treatment plant. Here, primary, secondary and tertiary treatment is done on the sewage. Some treatment is done to make it fit for use. The safe water is then released into the ocean. You see this? These are some of the pipes that carry the drainage or the sewage water from the homes to the municipal plants. What is bioremediation? Now, there's sometimes we hear that there is oil spilling in the oceans, and sometimes the aquatic animals are all troubled. They die. They come out on the oceans, and there is complete destruction of everything that there is in the oceans. So Going into this ocean and trying to physically remove with the help of machines, removing the oil layer is not easy. And therefore, this is where bacteria come in. Some bacteria like Pseudomonas spp and Alcanomorax borkumensis, they have the ability to destroy pyridines and other chemicals. They are called HCB or hydrocarbonoclastic bacteria. They decompose the hydrocarbons and they bring about the reaction of carbon and oxygen, okay, to clear the oil spills, and carbon dioxide and water are formed in this process. So we don't have to send in big machinery, we don't have to physically stand there and pull out the oil. Just put in, or put Pseudomonas spp and other bacteria which are called hydrocarbonoclastic bacteria. They will destroy these hydrocarbons meaning any compound made of hydrogen and carbon together, okay, and clear the oil spills. Okay, so this is the process by which they will be clearing anything that is released by mistake or sometimes on purpose by ships or other vessels moving in the oceans. Plastic bottles are formed from PET or polyethylene terephthalate polyester. And most urban garbage, that is garbage got from cities, consist of plastics. So there, for plastic also, we have species of microbes like Vibrio, Ideonella saccharinensis, which can decompose it. Species of fungi like Actinomycetes, Streptomyces, Nocardia, Actinoplanes can decompose rubber from garbage. So now this non-degradable PET or PET bottles and rubber can also be degraded by certain species of bacteria and fungi. Now, they break down the PET, okay, the Ideonella saccharinensis. It sticks to this bottle here and breaks it down into terephthalic acid and ethylene glycol. Okay, so slowly but surely you see how it will be eating into these PET bottles and decomposing it. So very important bacteria called Ideonella saccharinensis. Okay, so here we have the species of fungi, yeah, aerobic and anaerobic, which can decompose the rubber which is found in garbage. Microbes used in clean technology and their functions. So I've just put all of them together. The different types like thiobacilli, sulfobacilli, converting heavy metals into compounds before leaching. We have Pseudomonas spp, yeah, to treat oil spills. Just now we did Ideonella saccharinensis, that is decomposition of PET. Okay, then we have all these Actinomycetes, decomposition of rubber. Okay, and so put it all together so that it's easy for you to study what is the bacteria used in clean technology and what are the functions. We also have a very big problem of acid rain. So how do microbes help us with acid rain? First of all, what is acid rain? People working in mines, they have, and in factories, they know that materials, waste materials, pollutants come out of these mines and factories. Now when it rains, these gaseous pollutants in the form of gas, they dissolve in water and they form sulfuric acid, and that comes down as rain. And you know that any acid is corrosive, and therefore this causes erosion of the metals which are present in statues, in bridges and in buildings. Okay, now sulfuric acid is the source of energy for some species of bacteria. That means that these bacteria like Acidophyllum spp and Acidobacillus ferredoxin, they use sulfuric acid to get their energy. Therefore, the thing that can be done is put these bacteria into the soil. And so when it rains, the acid rain, these bacteria, they take in that sulfuric acid to get their energy, and therefore the soil now will be saved. There will be no pollution in soil due to sulfuric acid. Then we have some water soluble uranium salts that are present in waste where there is a process of electroplating, and also in the liquid waste, that is the effluents released from an atomic energy plant. So these water soluble uranium salts are converted by geobacter into insoluble salts. Insoluble meaning they cannot dissolve now, and therefore now the groundwater is saved from these uranium salts. So the function of geobacter is to convert the salts, the uranium salts, into insoluble salts, and so they cannot mix with water. How do microbes help in farming? Now, some microbe containing inoculants are produced by the process of fermentation. Inoculants meaning something that we put into plants or put into the soil or put into water. Now, these microbes are sprayed on seeds before sowing, and some are released into plants. Now, microbes present in the inoculants supply nutrients and they help the plant to grow. They also improve the quality of vegetarian food. So, solutions using azotobacter and artificial nitrogenous are used in organic farming. Soil pollution, therefore, because of chemical fertilizers, is prevented. So instead of chemical fertilizers, we put some inoculants containing microbes. Okay, and this helps in a kind of organic farming. So this is a garden inoculant. Can you see here in powdered form for putting for peas, snap, and lima beans. So you don't need to put any chemical fertilizers. Fluoroacetamide-like chemicals are mixed with the soil when chemical pesticides are used in agriculture. Okay. These are harmful to plants and animals and can cause skin disease to humans. And these dangerous pesticides can be destroyed with the help of microbes. Plastic garbage bags are biodegradable polylactic acid. Hence, they should be used only when needed and the environment should be saved. So many lessons we learn from this lesson, microbiology, in the sense that how we need to reduce our waste, we need to reduce the use of plastic garbage bags, and you come to know today how the environment is being polluted by unthinking humans. Therefore, now when you know all this, we need to know we have to control our use of non-biodegradable things and also of garbage bags. Bioinsecticides. You see the caterpillar eating the leaf here completely. So bacterial and fungal toxins which can destroy pests can be directly integrated into plants with the help of biotechnology. Okay, so now we are coming to biotechnology, wherein we can insert into the plant bacterial and fungal toxins to destroy pests. So you put some kind of a harmful substance into the plant with the help of biotechnology, and these, when the pests come and start eating the plant, they will get destroyed and the plant will be saved. Now, because they are toxic, insects do not eat these plants, okay, like bacteria. Some species of fungi and virus are also pesticides. For example, spinosad, which is a byproduct of fermentation. And this is the goal now, having all biofuels. This is the fuel of the future.